Hi there, I'm Jon Kirkman and I'm a broadcaster and journalist based in the UK. Again, in the ongoing series of videos that I've been doing whilst we've been in lockdown, I'm going to be highlighting some of the releases that you may have missed over the last 12 months or may be interested in because you've expressed an interest on one of my websites. Now, we're going to start off with something that's coming soon. I mean, it's due, I think, in the next few weeks, but as you can imagine, with the current situation the way it is, release schedules are somewhat of a movable feast. But there's a guy you may know, Snowy White. And this is an anthology box set. It covers the years 1983 to 1994. It includes his first album, White Flames, which also includes his first hit, Bird of Paradise. Now, Snowy is an amazing musician, played with the likes of Thin Lizzy, probably remember him with Thin Lizzy, also played with people like Peter Green, Al Stewart, and also he was the live guitarist with Pink Floyd during the Animals tour and also the Wall tour as well. I also think he played a gig with Cliff Richard at a festival once. I think it was the Greenbelt Festival. But an amazing musician, a beautiful guitarist, very much sort of steeped in the blues. But this box set covers a rather nice period for Snowy. And as I say, I think this might be one for those who like the blues guitar style that Snowy has favoured over the last 40 plus years of his career anyway. That's coming soon. You can check out more details by going to the Cherry Red website, cherryred.co.uk, and click on the menu button and then put in Snowy White into the search box and that should come up. Now, a couple of interesting albums to start us off. This one, it's a double CD, Jefferson Airplane, and it contains two albums, as I said. The last studio album from Jefferson Airplane in the 70s, certainly, before they metamorphosed into Jefferson Starship, and then a live album. Now that's from 1972, Long John Silver, and the live album 30 Seconds Over Winterland comes from 1973. Again, you get kind of a nice packaging, nice digipack here, Jefferson Airplane in live in concert. There's the two discs. You also get a booklet with all the information in there. I shall take that out and show it to you. Again, beautifully designed packages these. And that, of course, was at the point Jefferson Airplane were probably, I don't know, probably on the downward curve. I know it sounds horrible, but they probably were. They've been around since the 60s, but I think they were looking for something new to inspire them. They were still a very popular live draw, I might say. And I think changing not so much their style, but just updating it a little bit with the Jefferson Starship title, I think did them a lot of good. Before that, though, there was this. Now, this is three members of Jefferson Airplane at the time who would also be members of Jefferson Starship. Paul Kantner, Grace Slick, and David Freeberg. David, of course, had previously been in another fabulous and famous San Francisco band, Quicksilver Messenger Service. Now, it's a wonderful title. It's called Baron von Tollbooth and the Chrome Nun. And again, this is the kind of bridging album, I guess, between Jefferson Airplane and Jefferson Starship. The first Jefferson Starship album, which was called Dragonfly, came out in 1974, and this came out in 73, kind of post, just about post Jefferson Airplane, I should say, and just after, I think, the live album 30 Seconds Over Winterland. If you're into that kind of West Coast sort of 60s pop rock kind of thing, those albums will definitely interest you. Some good songs on those albums, and of course that one, that's the bridge between Jefferson Airplane and of course Jefferson Starship. Again, you'll find them on the Cherry Red website, cherryred.co.uk. Now, Son of Man. Great band. I think this is their second album. And it features a couple of guys who'd previously been in Man, one of whom very much related to the man in Man, Mickey Jones. It's George Jones, Mickey's son. And Bob Richards, of course, plays drums on this. Now, the interesting thing about this album, there's a song that these guys have reworked that Deke Leonard gave to them, sadly, before he died. And it was a song that was going to be on, I think, the first Man album in 1968, which is called Revelation. May have been 2 Ounces of Plastic. I'd have to consult the notes. But it's a fabulous piece of music. I think it's the opening track. Now, this band really do convey the sort of spirit of Man. Now, there's nothing wrong with the other version of Man, I have to say. I like what they do, of course, and they're led by their bass player, Mark Nace. They're still going, and they're still going concerned, but I do like this album. This is an album of new material, and that's the great thing about any band. It doesn't matter how old a band is, as long as you're making great, vital, new material. Keeps the band fresh, keeps you out on the road, and of course you can still play all the old songs as well, but you've got new stuff to play. This is a really, really good album. If you've ever liked Man, and of course I'm sure that a lot of you out there in Wales loved the band, as I do, then that album is definitely going to be one for you. Something else, brand new. This is Fish on Friday, the new album from Fish on Friday. If you're into your prog stuff, then yeah, this is a one album that you must have. Nick Beggs, member of Fish on Friday. I spoke to Nick last summer, and he was hoping to be part of the Cruise to the Edge next year, and I hope that's still the case. Sadly, Cruise to the Edge, as you know, being cancelled this year. Well, not cancelled, postponed. So we'll wait and see what happens. Again, that's all we can do, really. But I'm hoping that Nick and the guys from Fish on Friday can be a part of that in the sort of early part of next year. But in the meantime, get the album. The album's really good. Beautifully melodic, beautifully played, and some great songs in there. If you're a prog rock fan, that's definitely one for you. Another one for the proggers. Again, I've been lucky to work with the band Nectar a number of times in the past, again, mainly in America. This is a brand new album from Nectar. Of course, sadly, Roy Albright no longer in the band. He passed away a couple of years ago after a long illness, but there's enough members from the classic era of Nectar in on this album, and you really, really will enjoy this album. Again, a lot of people were surprised when this came out, but they are a going concern. Again, they were hoping to go out and perform this live until the current pandemic prevented everybody from going out and playing live. But you can, of course, get the album. Again, they are a British band, or predominantly British. There's some Americans in there now, but they are predominantly a British band. They spell the name Nectar German, and they were huge in Germany, I have to say. And that's why everybody thought they were a German band. But if you go to the Cherry Red website, click on the menu, into the search button, just put Nectar, Nektar, and you will find this particular album available to buy. And again, highly recommended. It's a wonderfully melodic, beautifully played album. Just to give you an idea, in the booklet, you get all the lyrics, of course. And again, the lyrics with Nectar. There you go, there's the current lineup of Nectar in there. And I'm really looking forward to seeing them performing live. I'm thinking as well, as with a lot of musicians, with the current lockdown situation, a lot of them have actually been writing new material and recording remotely, or recording their bits separately and putting them together. So who knows, by early part of next year, we may even have another album by them. That would be great. But I really wanted to see them performing that particular album, or certainly songs from that particular album. Now, here's an album, again, through Cherry Red Records. Alan Price, you know the name, originally founder member of the Animals. Good northeastern band, hugely successful in America and all over the world. Alan, of course, left in the mid-60s following the success of House of the Rising Sun and a couple of other singles. Had a great solo career, and also a career which included working with Georgie Fame. They had a big hit in the UK with a song called Rosetta in the early 1970s. This album came out in 1974. Now, I remember seeing a documentary about this album when it first came out, and it was an incredible documentary, and it kind of, it's new, but it's old. That makes sense. It's kind of harks back to the sort of good old days, if you like. And the lead single from this particular album was, of course, the Jarrow song, which celebrated the walk of the Jarrow boys to London, who were basically demanding a right to work. Very, very serious and historical note, and Alan Price turned it into a great song. Probably made a lot of people aware of that particular situation. And what you get on here are some bonus tracks as well, which is great. Now, I love this album because not only do you get the single version of the Jarrow song, you get the long version as well, the album version, which is really good. But the whole album as a kind of concept is a really, really beautiful concept album. And I urge you to check it out because it's well worth getting. And as I said, with Alan Price, he's a great songwriter and a great performer. I've seen him live and interviewed him a couple of times over the years. Lovely guy. And this is really one of his best albums. And it's just come out in the last 6 to 8 months through Cherry Red. So there you go. Great album from Alan Price. Make sure you sort of go to the website, cherryred.co.uk. Click on the menu, click on the search box and put in Alan Price and you'll find that album there. And you can actually order that, as I said, throughout the lockdown. Cherry Red, like a few other record labels, have been very diligent in making sure that their mail order and all the orders coming into the mail order department have been sent out very, very quickly. So even though the record stores aren't open at the moment, you can still buy some music to sort of fill your day with music. Let's face it, music is a big, big thing for a lot of people right now, probably more so than ever. So go to the Cherry Red website, check out what they've got, cherryred.co.uk, and get yourself some good music into your collection. That's it for today. Whatever you're doing, do stay safe, stay well, and hopefully we'll get to speak to you very soon. Thanks for watching.